Howdy folks, my name is Doug Grosser, aka The Nerdy Cook, and welcome to Cook That Video Game! Where we take food from video games and together we make it in the real world. But this is the first episode, and I haven't heard from any of you guys yet, so thanks for joining me. Have a good day. This is actually the first episode. So together we're going to take something from the very first video game that I have ever played, Kirby Superstar, and we are going to make strawberry cake. In Kirby Superstar, Kirby, the hero of Popstar, is going through multiple missions to take down different antagonists, whether it be King DDD, Dynablade, or multiple others. But in it is one of my favorite mini games of all times. Gourmet Race. In fact, I love this game so much that the music is actually the intro for this whole series. In the Gourmet Race, Kirby is racing King DDD to try to collect as much food as possible, while also trying to win the race. In it, you see multiple things that you'll recognize. You'll see candy, you'll see fruit, you'll see a tomato with a giant M on it, because that's actually normal in Kirby's universe. But one of my favorite things to see, and one that's in almost every Kirby game and other forms of media, is the strawberry cake. Just a little disc of something. But today we're going to make the real thing. But we're going to make it a little tasty. When you look at it in the Super Nintendo world versus the real world, it looks kind of just normal. It looks kind of home. There's only a single strawberry on it, and not really much else to say about it. So we're going to kick it up a little by making a cinnamon layer cake with fresh strawberries and a whipped cream frosting. It sounds difficult. There are a couple of steps, but by the end, you'll see that it's not that difficult to do, and it doesn't take you a whole day to make. So let's get started. First, with the ingredients. For the cake, we are going to need 2.5 cups of cake flour, about 10 ounces, 1 1/4 teaspoons baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, about 12 1/4 ounces, 10 tablespoons of unsalted butter, melted and cooled, 1 cup of buttermilk, room temperature, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3 large eggs, separated yolks from the whites, plus 3 additional large egg yolks, room temperature, and about 3/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. To start off with, grease and add your parchment paper to your 2 round cake pans. And make sure you flour the pans as well. Whisk together your flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, and of course the spice for a spice cake, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. There you go, sift it together now. Yep, keep going. Now don't be shy, push it on through. Let's keep this cake town going. In another bowl, whisk together your wet ingredients, the melted butter, buttermilk, oil, vanilla, and 6 egg yolks. Either prepare your arm for a workout or prepare the hand mixer. Take your egg whites and whip them with your 3/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar until they are foamy on medium-low heat. After they are foamy, increase the speed to medium-high and whip them until soft peaks form. This will take about a minute. Gradually add the 1/4 cup of sugar and whip until stiff peaks form. 2 to 3 more minutes. Set aside. Take your dry ingredients
and take your wet ingredients.
Slowly whisk in the rest of your wet ingredients into the dry ingredients until it is smooth and fully incorporated. Take about 1/3 of your whites and mix it vigorously into the mixture to lighten it up. Then take the remaining 2/3 and gently fold it in, using your whisk to allow it to slowly incorporate into the rest of the batter. Divide batter into both pans.
What our favorite nerdy cook failed to mention was that if you want it to be perfectly even, use a scale. By using a scale, you can weigh out the batter between both cake pans, and therefore have 2 evenly distributed cakes.
Take your cakes and plop them in a 350-degree oven on the center rack.
Bake the cakes until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean, about 20 to 22 minutes, switching and rotating pans halfway through. Let cakes cool on a wire rack for about 10 minutes. Then remove them from the pans and let them cool completely for about 2 hours.
Now let's deal with the main component of this cake, the strawberries. You're going to need about 2 pounds of them.
You're going to take about 12 and you're going to leave them whole. You're going to core the insides. Check out our tip videos to find out how to do that efficiently. Also, you're going to take the rest, get rid of the insides, and cut them in.
For the lemon whipped cream frosting, you'll need a teaspoon of gelatin, 2 cups of heavy cream, half a cup of confectioner's sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and the zest of 1 lemon. For the whipped cream frosting, place the gelatin and 1/4 cup of cream in a bowl. Let the gelatin soften, which will take about 5 minutes. Afterwards, place in the microwave for 20 seconds. Stir and continue to microwave it for another 20 seconds until the gelatin is completely dissolved. In the meantime, with your electric mixer, whip the whipped cream until it is thickened. Add the half a cup of confectioner's sugar, the lemon juice, the zest, and the vanilla extract, and keep whipping until it has the consistency of shaving cream. Take half a cup of the whipped cream mixture and mix it in with the gelatin. Then fold all of it back together. Now it's time for the fun part where we decorate the cake. I know it doesn't sound like it should be fun, but guess what? If you mess up, you can eat the mistakes. And that's my favorite part. So, before we actually begin, let's set ourselves up for success. Make sure that you have all your utensils that you need. An offset spatula, this will help you actually get the whipped cream into the proper spot. Make sure you actually have your pastry bag if you want to do the extra decorations, just in case. Make sure you have some sort of serrated knife. This will help you be able to level off the actual cake itself. You'll see in a sec. Make sure you have, well, your cake, your whipped cream, and you can't see it because it's off camera, but the strawberries as well. Now, this will make a mess, so let's try to keep it somewhat clean. Place down some parchment paper, and you can either use a Lazy Susan or something to hold up your cake, but I'm cheap, so I'm just going to use the backside of the cake pan. Down like that. Alright, so take one of your layers. Try to take the layer that seems to be the most cooked. So it looks like it's this guy for us. Serrated knife. And just make it nice and flat. And make sure you brush away the crumbs. Because guess what? It's going to be really, really difficult to make your thing look pretty if crumbs are everywhere. Brush, 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 brush. So nice, so nice. Now, for our first layer, we don't need to make it look pretty or anything. We just need some of the whipped cream to go straight down. There's just a small layer of whipped cream. And get it all the way to the outside. Now, as you can see, the sides are starting to overflow. While that may be tasty, it will impede our decoration. So what we'll do is after we get it all nice and flat, we'll go to the side with our little spatula and just take it off. Now we have all the whipped cream done. At least for the first layer. Now it's time to make it look pretty on the inside when we cut into it. So how we do that, take the flat end, and you put it right on the outside edge. And you just keep circling around, just to see this. And this is why you need 2 pounds, because we gotta make sure that we have plenty of strawberries. Once you get all the way around, now start working inwards. alternating between the points and the flat ends. And then on the last layer, since it's never going to be perfect, just fill in all the white spaces. Before we put on the last layer, let's put a little more whipped cream on. This is going to act like glue for us. Also help you level it off so that the next cake can lay down flat. Now, the final layer. Little pressure, just a smidge of pressure. Now, for the cake that's in Kirby Superstar, you don't need to do much for that one. That guy, whipped cream, 1 strawberry. And I'm also going to show you the one that's more from the anime. So let's start with the one that's from Kirby Superstar. Take a nice big blob, whipped cream, and spread it out. The nice thing is that because we have the stabilized whipped cream, because of the gelatin proteins will help it keep its shape for much longer, almost up to a day. And we can be a little more rough with it because of the gelatin, which is nice because sometimes you just get so frustrated at the cake and you want to be tender with it, but you just get so mad. The only thing that needs to happen to make it look like the cake from Kirby Superstar, to have some of the extra whipped cream just fall off, and this. Boop. That's it. Now that looks pretty good as is, but I want to go just that one extra step farther. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to finish layering the whole cake, and then whatever we have left over of the whipped cream frosting, we're just going to make an outside layer. All you have to do is take your pastry bag, or if you saw the quick tip, you just take your plastic bag, put the rest in, and just squeeze it out. Make sure that you fold it inside out for the pastry bag or plastic bag, whatever have you, because otherwise you're going to make a mess everywhere. Now remember, I am making this look like the one from the anime. Yeah, see, the hat probably gets in the way. Like the hat? Like I said, it's fun because it's messy. Oh no! Oh no, some of my whipped cream fell into my crumbs. Oh no! Oh no! We'll finish off the layering in just a sec, but let's do a little bit of the actual decorating. Now it doesn't look like much, but we don't need a lot, just for the little pillowy goodnesses that are going to be on each of our slices. So how are we going to do that? Well, first, let's set it up. Take your remaining 8 strawberries and put them right on the edge where you think you'll want to slice. Best way to do that? Think of a clock. 12, 6, for me, not you, sorry, because you have to see it from my perspective. 3, and 9. And then, because this cake is going to serve about 8 to 10, let's assume that we're all pigs, especially because it's me that we're talking about, and we're going to have only 8 slices. So take your remaining ones and fill in the corners. You can either have it like this, which looks very pretty, or if you are going for the Kirby, simply replace the strawberry and begin to push down until you get a nice pillowy mound like that. And hopefully it doesn't spit on you. I've already shown you 2 ways to make it look very pretty. First way was with the simple overfall. Second way was with the strawberries on each end, where you find the slices. Finally, we're doing it the anime way. So what that means is after you have your little billows on the side, you just take some halves and just line them up towards the center strawberry. Just like that. And then the easiest thing to do is actually to remove the center strawberry because it's not going to cut that easily. Now to cut the cake. Go right down in between like butter. I think they both look delicious. I'm gonna have this one. So tender. So messy. That is really good. The sweetness and tenderness of the cake with the lemon in the whipped cream with the strawberries. You gotta have some. Right? Oh my gosh, it's so tasty. Yeah, you gotta go make some now. Go. Don't worry, I'll be fine. We just made the cake, and you can have it too. Thank you for joining me. And as we say in my family, stay awesome and stay weird. Hey guys, the Nerdy Cook here. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for my very first episode. I hope you had as much fun as I did in making this, and I hope you really enjoy the cake. Don't forget to leave suggestions down in the box below, and I hope to see you again next week. Toodles!